Welcome back to Breaking Borderlands. Um, like I said, I was gonna farm Graveward before we moved on back to Pandora. I farmed up to level 31. The main reason being is I just wanted to max out Persistence Hunter, get that 12% gun damage. But, I want to illustrate a couple of things that he dropped for me. We have a surge grenade now, as well as, the vending machine had a fastball. So, really good options here. These two would be better for fighting him, so they'll just illustrate the fastball. The surge is great. I think we've already had one, but it's not going to help us with Graveward because it's all area of effect and he's, off a cliff. It would be really good for his ads, but we were fortunate enough to have a butcher, so we've been farming him quick. If you're not lucky enough to get a butcher, his dedicated drop is the lob. It's a very slow-moving but piercing explosive round. And this one's ice, so it doesn't do well to him, but if you're lucky enough to get a fire one, all you have to do is wait for him to slam his fist down, and then get right underneath it, and unload as many as you can into his fist. That should bring his face down, and then switch to something else, because they won't pierce his face. I don't know what that's about. But, along with that, the red card I found here was in the vending machine, so there another chance for drops. I already had that because he gave me a ward shield. Now, all of these effects are constant. The 25% weapon damage while shield's depleted, the 80% melee damage while shield's depleted, and then the 2% max health per second while the shields are active, and then double that while it's depleted. All those are constant. The resistance can change, but other than that, it's still a really good shield, especially for this level. If it breaks, just damage boosts. He also dropped for me a Bounty Hunter, which is the bossing class mod that we'd be using anyway. Just because the chance to get the kill skills to activate is fantastic. Especially since we've already got Furious Attack. So shooting the enemy gains us a stack, but we could end up gaining 2 stacks if that 3% chance goes off. So it helps us to build stacks faster, especially since we're using high fire rate weapons, or at least automatic, for the most part. Or at least things that we can shoot off pretty quick. Get that to go off. But the bosses that are now treated as humans, beasts, and robotics, that will kick in very usefully. You can see the 3 skills that it's helping to boost right now. I don't have anything invested, but any of these can also be procced by that 3% chance. So Frenzy's really good to have. We're going to be perking that out. Hunter's Eye, I normally don't put anything into it. I allow the class mod to do a boost for that, but the best thing you want would be Most Dangerous Game or the Big Game, and that's Most Dangerous Game is really good to have as well. And if we can get that to proc, then yeah. So we're running that at least to help with the farming. Yeah, we're gonna switch to the fastball just so I can show that one off. One of my favorites from Borderlands 2. That's came back. So, come back, get any ammo you need after you've taken them out. Scan to see if there's any good grenades. Sell any, junk. Like I got a class mod for Moe's from drops as well. Now, I didn't grab any of the cosmetic legendaries, but there were about 3 or 4 of those that dropped as well, and whatnot. So we'll do them one more time. But again, I got lucky with having a butcher. So what I like to do is get as far over here as I can. Then you're going to try and jump. Be right in front of him and be close to the edge so the corrosive spheres miss you. And then just go for his crit spot. Now there's several other weapons that could do the same job, or at least close. You know, whatever you find to be quickest, but... Yeah, see, he gave us... I think that's cosmetic. So that's the downside, is, you know, a lot of this could be cosmetic drops. But if you don't have them collected, you know, assuming that you are brand new to this, then this is a great place to unlock those. But... yeah, I just got up to level 31 to give us a little edge, even though, you know, we've got plenty of weaponry going on for us. Just to give us an edge, because again, he could drop a good artifact for us, and now that you have artifact slots open, you know, it's great to find one that works for you. Specifically, I want you to look for a spark plug, which I'm having trouble finding one. I mean, there's the electric slide, but now I need the spark plug. Now, the chests regenerate in, I think, a half hour, so I don't know exactly how long I've been going at this. I have been taking him out pretty quick. So yeah, I haven't even spent a half hour gaining 1.5 levels. But again, just keep your eye out for an artifact that... I was kind of hoping to get the grave artifact, but sadly it has not dropped. But yeah, just keep an eye out for any good artifacts. We're gonna be heading to Pandora. Now, because we skipped Pandora by starting on a DLC, you can go to these old places, but they're going to be low level. That's for the arms race, which you can do at any time, but I'm not a fan and would rather just do it when I'm max level. So we're gonna go to the droughts and the highway. I know there's a bunch of side quests that you saw down there, a bunch of exclamation points, but they will all be low level. So we're just gonna run through here and get to what matches our level. But whenever we beat the game and can turn on Mayhem mode, you can come back and do them and they will match your level. If you want to get them out of the way. I save them until I'm max level, because again, we're just going to be rushing ourselves once we pass certain points, getting through the main storyline, and then part of the way through the storyline of the first DLC. Now, I apologize. Pandora does have some big maps, so it's going to take a while for things to load. And it was loading that anyway.
Heading to an outpost called Roland's Rest.
It's going to come out of nowhere and try and blow me up. Rude. Now, if you didn't grab it, well, we haven't, because, again, I'm assuming you were following my guide and skipped the tutorial, but if you didn't, there's a chance you already grabbed him. But grab whatever vehicle you got going for you, and you're gonna follow the road from here. Take a left and continue to follow the road. You're gonna come up on this barricade. That's funny. I forgot I had the Tesla coil, so you gotta be close enough for it to actually shock things, but it does pretty good. But you don't have to bother with these guys, just go ahead and come on through. So there's a lot of things to do here in Devil's Razor. A lot of side quests that you can pick up. But again, I don't suggest doing them. We will get them at max level. Or, well, I say get them at max level. The idea after we break a character is grab some world drop equipment anybody can use to take out whatever bosses or elites will lie in your way to construct the build you're going for. So for me, I'm fortunate for the whole fire blindly into the sky. 2 of the rocket launchers I'm going to be needing are dropped by mayhem leveled bosses that we've already taken out. Well, one we've already taken out, one we'll take out soon. So again, I got lucky there, but if you need DLCs or something like that, eventually we're gonna do all of those storylines, and then you're just gonna have to look up what prerequisites you'll need to find the equipment you're gonna want. But we'll go over a few things. Just a hammerlock hunt for some extra EXP, you know, chance for some drops in Iridium. So now we're gonna continue. So park wherever, but get used to Devil's Razor, because for whatever reason, don't know if it's intentional, but these 3 vending machines seem to have really good equipment, especially whenever you bump up to mayhem levels and such. They have a high chance for legendaries. I've seen quite a few pop up out of there for seemingly no reason. So now that we've met up with Vaughn, you know, feel free to loot whatever you feel like, because Pandora. My question is, who gave the robots smell receptors?
Who is this carnivora and how do I kill them?
Okay, so now that they start talking about carnivora, you can go ahead and hop in your vehicle again and take a left. Alright.
You're not losing anyone else.
Now on to a new area. So again, that's one of the reasons I mentioned that Devil's Razor has a bunch of things to do, because it is passed by. We're going to be coming back here frequently, but it's usually just to Roland's Rest or to link into another area. I don't want to call it filler, but it kind of is. Still, some of my favorite missions are in there. They're hilarious. But for right now, we're trying to go to the murder circus. Pardon me. Now, here in the Splinter Lands, there is one side quest that I could suggest you do. But the only reason I would is because it has like a 3-part chain. It's pretty self-contained to this area, and the main benefit is when you're at the end of it, or I think it's in the second mission. Yeah, it's right here. It's the homestead. But, you'll get a unique skag that you can fight called Vermalingua. And the beautiful thing about Vermalingua is she has an increased drop rate for the Hellshock Malawan pistol. Really, really super fast firing automatic, lightning and fire weapon. Now, again, it is more beneficial just to wait and do it, but the homestead is over here. You just hop on back through there and go help out Mom and Pa. But right over here is where we're headed.
Yep, that's the one.
So park your vehicle on the tongue and don't get out. Let the game get you out of your vehicle. And then submit your death ride. It will always fail, doesn't matter how blinged it is. Just because plot armor. So now we're gonna come this way. Now, so there are two unique enemies in this area. One of them I'm going to highly suggest you deal with, but the second one that I'm going to tell you about, this is the, you found a chest somewhere. I don't recall where it was. Where are you? Where was it? It's probably linked to the mission that you can get right here, so don't bother with it. But that respawn point is going to get you over here to Roadhog, or I don't know. It's making fun of the Overwatch character. So you're gonna hop this wall, because otherwise you're gonna have to fight all the bandits that spawn here. But come over here to this shipping container. Ow. And give him a belt. He can drop the speed load and held walker, which, yes, indeed, thank you, sir. We're gonna go shotguns for a minute. There's an ammo vendor around here, so just to demonstrate, because I never showed off the lob either. But yeah, let's show the lob. But he can also drop the red line, which is a super awesome automatic Torg shotgun, and this does damage as it slowly passes through targets. That's where it gets kinda awkward to use, especially against bigger enemies, but you can pierce through crowds and shields, so super useful in that sense. Does not crit, but still super awesome useful. And the Hellwalker, I should have done it differently. Hold on. So, if you haven't guessed, the Hellwalker is an homage to Doom, the first-person shooter. The first-person shooter, let's put it that way. So, if you hold to equip it, yeah, rock out. But it also makes a little guitar noise when you fire it. Now, the problem is, it's, you know, a one and reload, but that reloads super quick, and you can just see I'm not even trying really. It's just point and click. You get close and done. Oh, who you got for me? Unless they're fire immune, and it would be the roaster. So she's fire immune. Do you have me trapped? I think you should cool off, lady. Oh, thank the maker. There's my spark plug. Now, the spark plug is not going to be that advantageous. I haven't even used the fastball. It's not going to be that advantageous right now. So we might switch to it. Meh. Oh, sorry, bud. Shockstone. That's not bad for what it does, but unless you have a way of knowing what your element's going to be to boost it, it's a very specialized thing. But the spark plug is going to be instrumental here in a while, and that victory rush is going to be just as instrumental to us anyway. But whenever you ground pound, throw that down, anything gets close enough gets shocked. That's the idea. The issue is you have to find somewhere where you can get the elevation. So if you can find like a hill or a container or something like that, you just got to get enough air time to put it down. So for example, if there's enough of an incline here, yep, bam. And it's pretty powerful. But again, you just gotta catch your air. So, specialized, because you have to know when to use it. But it has so many functions that I will illustrate eventually. Now, the second unique enemy, you're gonna come to this spawn point here. And most of the time, you're gonna want a vehicle, but you'll ditch it. Just trust me, you're gonna want to ditch it. And we have Princess Terranella the Second. So I'm gonna just... Excuse you, ma'am. That was rude. This is such an awesome shotgun. Excuse you. From all that up. Excuse you. I'm gonna take this. But let's grab all the iridium and such. But she can drop the hive launcher, which is honestly something that would probably fit the blindly build. Because it'll throw out a drone, and that drone throws out homing corrosive well, hornets, I guess, would be the easiest way to describe it. I mean, it is called the hive. But if you're not worried about farming them right now, which really you shouldn't be, I was just pointing them out. We're going to come over here to the chop shop and continue the mission. And I'm going to speedrun past these guys just because... well, I was gonna, and then a chance at having elite showed up. And fish slap. So he could drop the fish slap grenade, and I can't remember what else, but the grenade would be real nice. There's a lot of stuff to do with it, and hey, there we go. Now, the fish slap grenade is very interesting because its damage is based off of melee damage. So if you're not boosting melee, it's not going to do much. But if you're not worried about the damage and more the utility, one of the best things that you can do is if you find a cut purse mod, which the cut purse has it to where your melee attacks steal ammo. You can throw the grenade at an enemy, and that will reload, well, not reload, but it will restore ammo to your, there we go, restore ammo to your reserves. Sorry, it was a little hard for me to see everything going on, but again, I'm just trying to take out any cartel for a chance at an elite showing up. Because elite showing up at this time is just more padding to have legendaries in your inventory. You know, more chances for them to show up. And they really do make your first run so easy if you get good ones. Now, I don't suggest doing what I'm doing here because, you know, eventually I'm going to run out of shotgun ammo. But let's start speed running here. The only reason that this works for me is I only need a few rounds and then I can switch to the butcher and it's not gonna take any ammo. And then I have one, you know, alternate weapon. But I just... it's so satisfying to use this Hellwalker. It's quite a nice homage to classic. Hi, big fella. Now, this thing is really devastating if you turned it on to the, you know, less shots, but more time for the fadeaway. Because that critical is just ridiculous, especially since all the pellets were critical, and it's a Jacob's weapon, so they'll ricochet towards anything nearby. And it is one of the few Jacob's weapons that comes with an element, because it is fire damage. So, there's that too. Hey, there was a loot psycho. I didn't even see him on the map. Oh, calm down. Where'd you go? You went up? And always pay attention to your radar for enemies. If they're above you or below you, there's a little arrow to help tell you where they are. What did you got? Ooh, a baby maker. Alright. So the cool thing about a baby maker is, just like other TDR weapons, if you throw it, it does something special. This one will make smaller versions of itself that then... This one flies. Some of them have, you know, different effects. Oh my goodness, he was so generous. That is fantastic. Alright, but real quick, because I just noticed we had a skill point. We're gonna go for the eyes. Now, the Jabber, or at least this version of the Jabber, Hot Drop Safeguard, that is a really nice synergy. So let me explain. Even though it's boosting all other elements besides the fire from the Hot Drop, the Safeguard is going to give you a protective shield, and then the Hot Drop is going to just light the area up with fire. So anything that was near you is going to take a bunch of damage, and you're going to take less damage for a few seconds. But the spark plug is more my jam, and that victory rush will actually stack with the most dangerous game. So for 1 minute I have both of them active, and then for another minute this still stays active. But every time we take out an elite, it's just extra damage and some movement speed. So why not? What else we got? Oh, he gave me a Ripper. Well, what do you know? I'm gonna put you on the shelf for a minute. And a Nemesis. Now, the baby maker is cool and all, but I just prefer me a Nemesis. So grab your key. Now, the Ripper is a very interesting weapon. The reason being is it does increase melee damage, so you think it's, you know, oh yeah, it's a melee build. And yes, kind of, but any target that you tag with the melee from the Ripper is going to take increased damage from the gun. And yeah, it's just a damage buff, but it's only for that gun. Like, you can't hit somebody, switch, and then get increased damage. Ooh, it's not for bleeding targets, it's for targets that... Yeah, it's just for the Ripper's damage. But it is mayhem worthy. The only caveat being you have to tag the enemy first. So you saw there was almost no way for me to stab Graveward until I've done enough damage to make him headbutt the platform. So, yeah, but it's still quite nice. So try your best not to get hunted down by COV, because they will stay on your tail. Alright. That's everything that I pretty much do in the Splinterlands for a primary run. Alright, now that the reticle's shown up. Alright, now we end up in Carnivora. So, we'll take that on in the next video. But I hope you found this informative and entertaining, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.